It's Sunday morning, and every decent man and woman is listening to Test Miles with Nick Miles on FM News 101 KXL.
It's time to talk cars for the next 60 minutes on your weekly automotive experience. I'm Nick Miles. You're listening to America's Automotive Radio Show, keeping you connected with the automotive world, locally created, nationally celebrated, fun and exciting cars. We have been driving them this week. Chris Raymond here. The first annual Rod and Pins PDX Mopar Muscle Show is going to go on. We're going to tell you why, where, and how you can get involved. Our friend Pat from Wheelcraft is here. He's going to tell you about how you can make your wheels super sexy, and it works. When I've had wheels from Wheelcraft and you pull up against the curb, I get nothing but looks. Mike Cadell joining us. He is a PR executive from Driven Public Relations, and he's going to help me solve one of my problems where I ride my motorcycle and I want to talk to people on the phone. Obviously, that's something you can't do, but they have a new device to allow you to be able to do that. It goes right into your helmet. We're going to talk about electronics and cool things that can be installed on your motorcycle, because my good friend Peter from Mobile West is going to be here. And Ryan has an Afterglow product, which he's going to talk about, that makes your car beautiful. Afterglow, by the way, is the name of Ryan's detailing company. It's not the name of Ryan. He's not Ryan Afterglow. Although sometimes there is an afterglow when Ryan is around. I have been driving the Jeep Cherokee. Let me tell you, this just won a huge amount of awards at the Mudfest stuff. The Cherokee Jeep hitting out the park. I think the last numbers I saw, their sales are up 148% in the Northwest. Their off-roading capability is unbelievable. They are great. The only one downside to the Jeep, let me just give you this one downside. The Wrangler is probably one of the vehicles I am most in love with. But your backside does not love it when you drive to Seattle on the freeway. I need to take it to Peter and have him cushion out the seats because I get numb legs. But you want to take that thing off-road pretty hard. Anyway, wait, let's go back to the Cherokee, which is the vehicle I've been driving, because I digress. Keyless entry, windshield wiper, de-icer, command, dual plane panoramic sunroof, transmission skid plates, blind spot detection, collision warning, hill start assist, hill descent, control lane assist, accident response system, parallel parking, perpendicular parking, assisted speed, crawl control, a 2.4-liter engine or a 3.2-liter V6, up to 271 horsepower, 9-speed automatic transmission, front or all-wheel drive, up to 31 miles a gallon. Is people shopping them right now? Because I'm just telling you, this thing is absolutely amazing. And it has this new front end. A lot of people, the biggest question about this car is, does it look like a Jeep? Does it feel like a Jeep? I was just going to say, it still looks like a Jeep. They've done a great job. When you drive that, you feel like you're in a Jeep and not just an amalgamation of all sorts of different companies. Right. Mike Manley, who is the head of Jeep, and I am very honored to call a personal friend of mine, and because he's English, we know each other. Every English person knows every other English person. Mike Manley is the head of Jeep, and he has been earmarked to take over from Sergio Marchionne when he leaves as the head of the FCA, Fiat Chrysler Group. He has done amazing things with this vehicle. Now, there was always that debate about square headlights and round headlights on the Jeep. Now what do we do? Because the Cherokee has the sort of, I don't know, modern metro type, slitty type headlights. Slitty a word? Did I just make that up? Anyway, I love this thing. There is special anniversaries. This company has been around 75 years. It will start at $23,500 and go up to $39,000, which I have to tell you, the Trailhawk version in the anvil blue, it's pretty hard to say no to. I mean, I have a hard time saying no to pretty much anything in my life. How do you not have 30 cars in your driveway? I have 29. Okay. There's room for one more. Who doesn't love a car show? Portland is about to get a new car show, but it's only going to happen for the very first time this year, and there will be a lot of eye candy at this event. It's also for an amazing cause. So let's start with why. Chris Raymond is here. He is the president of PDX Mopar Muscle. Chris, before we get into the event itself, I want to hear why you are having the event, because you're raising money for some young man who needs some help.
Yeah, first I'd like to say thank you for having me and the ability to talk about this car show and our car club. It is a charity event. It's being held at Sunset Lanes in Beaverton, May 21st, which is next Saturday. And it's to benefit a little boy named Marshall, who is fighting leukemia, and we wanted to do something for somebody, which is what the car culture is all about, charities and stuff, and which is why we shine up our cars every week and take them to probably 30 shows a year, to help out charities. And, we formed this club to maybe even do a little bit more along those lines. So.
And how's Marshall doing?
He's doing real well. We saw him 3 days ago, and he just had another treatment. He's got another year of treatments. He's a really, really energetic, fun-loving kid. You wouldn't know. I mean, it's pretty inspiring to me to watch how happy this kid can be. My bad.
Is that your phone ringing?
Yeah, that's my phone.
You want to answer it? Go ahead and answer it. I want to know who's calling.
It was a text. But no, he's doing really well. And but like we said, he's got another year of treatments, and we're pulling for him.
Can we talk about what it's costing? I mean, does he have two parents? Does he have one parent? And I think he's just got a mom, hasn't he?
Single parent.
Single parent.
Yeah, single parent. And the bills are piling up.
First of all, leukemia, not good. Second of all, single parent, really, really hard.
Yeah.
So that's the first two reasons to get involved.
Yeah, we drive the Make-A-Wish kids at Lucky, and it always amazes me how energetic and positive all these kids are, and the parents. And I don't get it. It sure makes you go home and hug your kids and not complain as much for a few hours.
And I find that hard to believe with you, Brad.
True.
Complaining about your kids for a few hours.
Yeah, we support the Make-A-Wish kids also.
So, all right. So, how much is his whole treatment costing?
Oh, jeez.
How much do we need to raise? All right, that's a better question.
Well, I would say thousands, which it looks like we're going to have a pretty good crowd, and I think we're going to do okay. But yeah, anything.
We've got another year of treatment, and let's say we needed like $10,000. That's how much we need.
I would.
At least $20,000.
I would think at least $10,000.
Can we, Portland? Can we do this? Portland? Can we do this for this kid? 4-year-old, right? How old?
3-year-old.
3-year-old.
Yeah.
Can we do this for this 3-year-old?
Yeah, he
kid?
just turned 3. Actually.
All right. So what are we doing? Let's talk about the event.
Well, I mean, the event is, it's like I said, it has to do with the car community coming out and just supporting causes, and this is just another cause. And I mean, if you love cars and you love people and having fun, I mean, our event's going to have live bands.
I love cars. I love people.
Yeah,
I love having fun. All right,
our car event is going to have live bands. Okay. Sunset Lanes in Beaverton. They're supplying the food and beverage. Right. And I don't know if you have ever eaten at Sunset Lanes, but they have really amazing food there.
Yeah. So what happens is, just walk me through the day. What time does it start?
It starts at, I believe, 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock in the morning.
In my pocket.
And then you pull the flyer out so we make sure we get everyone the right information. And Sean is going to be doing our Facebook, and he's going to put all this up on the Test Miles Facebook page. So, and by the way, if you're not a fan of the Facebook page, Test Miles Facebook page, am I saying this right?
Yes.
My tongue's in the wrong part of my body, right? The Test Miles Facebook page. And if you're not a fan already, you need to go there and make sure that you are a fan, because this information is all going to be there. So
and then also, if you have Facebook, just type in Rods and Pins, and we have our own Rods and Pins Facebook page.
That's the name of the event, right? Rods and Pins. So we can go and see some amazing Mopar cars. Mm-hmm. If someone doesn't know what Mopar is, explain to me in one sentence what Mopar is.
Well, you were just talking about one, the Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Right. So these are Fiat Chrysler automobiles that have their aftermarket. Mopar is kind of the aftermarket company for them.
Well, yeah, I mean, Mopar's been around a long time, right. But our car club is all Chrysler and Chrysler related.
So Dodge,
Dodge
Jeep,
Brothers, Dodge Brothers, Fiat,
mostly
all the
cars,
LX models.
By the way,
Chrysler has.
By the way, I have to tell you that Tim Kaniskas, who is now the head of all the cars, so he's the head of Dodge, Chrysler, and Fiat. I pitched him in Chicago, Chrysler Pacifica Hellcat.
Yeah.
Am I not right?
Yeah.
Which man do you know that wouldn't have a 707 horsepower minivan? I'm sorry, we're getting off subject.
Well, I might buy one.
No,
that's for the women.
That's for the women.
What do you mean that's for the women?
That would be the awesome soccer moms.
Yeah, but I'm saying soccer moms love their minivans as it is.
Right.
Now the guys are going to love them too.
Our PDX Mopar muscle girls, trust me, our club would not run as smooth as it does without the ladies. It's amazing.
You should you should know what my life would be like without Jen. This show would
Hey, we're
be,
just grease monkeys here,
Yeah,
baby.
yeah.
We love going out tinkering with our cars and taking them to shows and all that, but you'd be amazed how many of the women have gotten involved and they just run with it, man. They're worse than we are. I mean, you see my wife's car. She's customizing that thing like crazy, you know?
So are most of these muscle cars like old
I have
Challengers,
muscle.
stuff
I
like
drive
that?
the old ones. I drive the classics. I've got a Cuda. I've got an old Challenger.
All right.
I've got a Plymouth Scamp. My wife drives a 2000.
This is what happens. This is
RT.
what happens. We start to run out of time. So let's talk about the event. You can go see amazing cars. How much does it cost to get there?
It is $20, I believe. Like I said, yeah, $20 for registration.
Right.
You can come as a spectator and just come listen to some music and buy some raffles. We got some amazing raffle stuff coming up too.
Great stuff to give away.
Yeah.
Great food. Amazing cars. A lot of excitement.
Yes, and Marshall will be there.
And Marshall will be there. We should go and meet Marshall. We're trying to help this kid beat leukemia.
Absolutely.
It happens next weekend on
May 21st.
May 21st.
Sunset Lanes, Walker Road, Beaverton.
All right. I want you to go and report back, everybody in America. Please go to this event, report back, tell me how it was. Coming up,
We have the ability to take a credit card too, by the way.
Oh, that's always good to raise money. Coming up, we still have Pat from Wheelcraft. Peter is going to be here from Mobile West, and Mike Cordell on the phone telling us about some new cool motorcycle device. And Ryan, who is from a company called Afterglow, going to tell us about how to make your car look very shiny. That's coming up on Test Miles. I'm Nick Miles.
Test Miles, like NASCAR, but with one right turn. TestMiles.com.
Here's the problem. The problem is we get chitty-chatty and we then get way behind in the show because we have too much fun in the studio. Staying connected with the automotive world, you're listening to our radio show, Test Miles. I'm your host, Nick Miles. In the studio, Brad, Sean, Jen, and Ryan. And we have more guests coming up. Jen has a fun fact for us.
Okay, so when you think of Hemi, you automatically think of Chrysler or Dodge. But, in fact, the first hemispherical engine originated in 1901, and the first automaker was Pipe in Belgium. Chrysler came out with their first Hemi engine in the 1950s, and it was called the Firepower engine.
There you go. Now you lot are all educated, and I am educated too. I feel better for having Jen's fun facts. Still not sure if I took it all in, but I tried very hard. Sean, what have you been driving this week?
I had the 2016 Mazda S or Mazda 3S 5-door Grand Touring. It's a 5-seater hatchback. It was also named Car and Driver's top 10 best cars 3 years in a row, and this year's IIHS Safety Plus award. So it's very safe. Some of the tech in it is the active display where the little heads-up display pops up out of the dash, helps with polarized lenses and glare off the road. Instead of projecting it on the window, it's just a little screen. Has a SkyActiv 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine that cranks out 184 horsepower. Only comes in a front-wheel drive, gets 27 miles to the gallon in the city and 37 on the highway. Some of its competitors are the Corolla, Civic, Focus, Jetta, Dart, Impreza. And I feel this one has this more stylish interior than all of those combined. And it's one of my favorite things about it because it has this white and black interior, which I think more cars need. Cars are getting too dark now with their interior, so having a nice bright interior, it looks awesome. Driving this car, it has some tight steering, and it's fun to drive if you get it up in the higher RPM ranges, but I feel it's a little sluggish off the line. So if you have some nice curvy roads, you just put it in the paddle shifters and basically wind it up. The only down I could find for this car is that there's still no Speed 3. Starting price is $18,545, and the one that I was driving was pretty much topped out at $30,270.
I will tell you, one of the things is that Mazda are making so many of these cars and selling so many of them that adding a Speed 3 is just going to put too much pressure on their factory. That would be my guess. Although
that would get more jobs.
Yeah,
let's run a 24-hour shift.
You got to build a bigger factory because I think they're almost at capacity. They were an amazing part of our Project Tyrant, getting our wheels installed on the vehicle and helping us with the vehicle this year. And we wanted first of all to thank them for being part of the Project Tyrant. But Wheelcraft, the team there, they do so much more: repair, beautification, and general wheel health. Pat from Wheelcraft is in the studio. Pat, you've been doing wheels for 15 years. That's a long time, by the way. And I think Brad has kids that, I don't know, you have kids in their 40s, 50s?
Well, yeah, they have kids that are that age.
See, that's a long time. So when you look at that's a long time for doing wheels. There are some questions we want to ask you about them. But if someone comes to you, Pat, and says, "What is Wheelcraft?" How do you explain that to them?
Well, we usually start off with our tagline is scratches, scrapes, nicks, dings, and bends. We fix wheels. So
right.
we do all kinds of stuff with wheels, and started out the company 15 years ago just doing curb damage repair, primarily for certified pre-owned programs on dealership lots. And we did those for a long time. But then more and more and more people, just car owners, wanted to have their wheels done too. So besides doing them for the service departments, now we started to doing them for people. Since we're a mobile company, I mean, we go to the dealership lots. Hey, why can't I go to your house? So I go to people's homes now as well. And we do everything from whatever, Mazda 3s to Maseratis. So
I find it very painful when I look at a car that has wheel damage. It's probably one of the most painful things. And I think manufacturers have started to realize that making wheels that get damaged easily, Range Rover and Audis used to be easily damaged. They've started now to make wheels that it's harder to damage on them. But there is nothing more painful than a damaged rim on a car, right?
Well, for a lot of people, that's the way it is. It's interesting to me how many people, it seems sometimes the higher end, some of the car, the lower maintenance people take care of stuff. So our best customers are the BMW 3 Series drivers or the C-Class drivers or then an S-Class guy. They could go years without even thinking about it. So.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the beautification. I mean, you make car wheels look pretty too. It's not just, I can take my regular.
So
you've done it for my Land Rover. You've sprayed them, like 6-7 years ago, you sprayed my Land Rover wheels black. Right. So you color wheels too.
We can do a color change. We're avoiding to do the color changes on site, and yours has lasted incredibly well. But the painted finish doesn't always hold up quite as well as what we've started doing about 3 years ago is we built a remanufacturing facility. And at the remanufacturing facility, I can do everything from a machine finished wheel, like on today's new Mercedes-Benz or Toyotas even. I mean, a lot of wheels are machine finished, and we were leaving an awful lot of repair options on the table because we couldn't do them.
All right,
and we can do that now.
Let's tell us where you are, because they're giving me the cue that the CBS News guys are about ready to go. So how do I find Wheelcraft and get hold of you?
Well, we're in Vancouver, Washington. You can look us up online at www.wheelcraftnorthwest.com. It's WHEELKRAFTNW.com.
And let's work on some beautification projects. I think we can look at some of the things that you do.
There's a lot of photos of all the kind of neat stuff that we can do, and we're on Facebook as well.
And they can come out to you. They can come out to you.
That's what I love about it, Pat. We thank you for all your help. Let's get to the CBS News when we come back. So much more on the show. You listen to Test Miles. I'm Nick Miles.
Favorite us, tweet us, friend us, love us, all at testmiles.com.
We'd like to thank you for being part of our little radio show. Now, to bring you another fun fact, here is Jen.
The Buick Verano was released in 2012 and was the first compact car produced by Buick since the Skylark in 1998. Verano is Spanish for the word summer and is assembled in Michigan.
I can't believe they're getting rid of that car because it was one of their biggest sellers. They were one of the first, the subcompact market there. What have we still got to come on the show? We're going to, just in a second, do Brad's car review. Then we're going to talk to Mike Cadell about a little issue that I have that he may have a solution for. And then Peter from Mobile West is going to be here to talk about some cool stuff you can install on bikes and all of the other fabulous stuff that he does down there. It's like a treasure cave down in his shop. So, Brad, what have you been driving this week?
So I got to drive one of the staples of the industry, the new 2016 Toyota Corolla. And in 2014, they did the rebranding and came out. So there's not a lot new for 2016, except for the one test car that I got to do. It's a special edition. And there's 4 different trim levels on the Corolla: L, LE, S, LE Eco. And the special edition is based on the S and has special cladding and 17-inch wheels, color matching wheels. They're going to only produce 8,000 of these in just 3 colors. And unlike the Accord Sport or something like that, this is based on a high-end vehicle, so it's 22,320, so kind of at the upper end of that Corolla. and very fun to drive, except the appearance made it seem like as if it was going to be faster than what it was. And that was the negative for me, is it was just underpowered, and then the CVT in the low end really caused it to drag, so it wasn't as fun as it should have been for how it looked. But the interior is very roomy, and the Intune system I finally got used to, and finally got to enjoy that with all the different features on it. But overall, a good 8 or 9 out of 10. I really liked the appearance and just want more power.
All right.
For that Corolla.
And so, I mean, it's like now the number one seller in that, it overtook the Civic. I think the Civic's probably going to come back after they showed that Civic hatchback at the New York Auto Show.
And the exterior of this did have some of that Civic cladding in the front end, and I'm not sure I'm a big fan of how it looks. But it is a step up from what it has been in the past, where it was real bland.
This car is designed for people who are like 60 years younger than you.
Most people are 60 years younger than I.
Poor Brad. Just beating the hell out of him all day today.
If you could hang with me, then I'd feel bad about it.
I have a problem. Well, the truth be known, I have
many.
Yeah, the truth be known, I was just about to say I have many problems. So one of them is fixable. I get phone calls constantly on when I'm riding my bike, and of course, I can't take a phone call when I'm riding a motorcycle. So what can you do? Well, my pal Mike, an executive from Driven PR, and you may know him from such things as Fox and Friends and I'mASuperGuy.com. But Mike tells us he has a product that can safely allow me to take a phone call on a motorcycle. Good morning, Mr. Cadell.
Good morning, Portland.
How are you?
I'm doing pretty well this morning. It's an overcast morning here in Southern California, but it's great to be on your show to start the day.
There you go. This will brighten up your morning, I can tell you. What's this fabulous product you tell me about that can allow me to use my phone while riding a motorcycle safely?
Well, if you think about the motorcycle industry as a whole, it's pretty hard to innovate in that industry. Unlike the auto industry where you have telematics and all this great technology that you get to integrate into that 4 wheels and a motor, when you're on a motorcycle, you're on 2 wheels and your attention should always be on the road. You know, there are so many accidents out there that safety is always, paramount with the motorcycle industry. So communication, though, doesn't stop. Phone calls never end. And, being able to be on that cell phone while riding are important and is important. So there are a couple different devices out there that are really taking the industry kind of by storm. And the product I was going to tell you about that'll solve your issues is a company called Sena Bluetooth, and it's SENA. Ironically enough, when I was on with you guys last time talking about some of the vehicles to take a look at the New York Auto Show, I was actually doing that while riding 50 miles an hour on my motorcycle, and you had no idea.
No.
So
that's a surprise.
The technology is there. And so the product that I like out of their lineup is called the Sena 20S, and that's their newest iteration of their Bluetooth communications devices. So here's really what's cool. You pair your phone with the device mounts on your helmet. You make sure you wear your winter guard under the bottom of your full-face helmet just to kind of reduce that airflow under the helmet. But you can listen to your music, and while you're riding along, you're paying attention on the road, you're listening to your music, but at the same time, a phone call comes in, it'll beep, and you can use a voice prompt command and just say, call, and it'll release that phone line and be able to communicate with whomever you're on with. When it's done, it goes right back to your music, and you can pipe in your GPS, so you don't have to think about where you're going. You can pipe it all in through that device. Not to mention you have an intercom feature that you can connect up to 4 different motorcyclists while out on the road.
You know what I love about this fact now? Now I can listen to KXL and take phone calls while I'm riding my Harley Davidson. That's the best part of it. That's the best part of it. Mike, how much do they start at, and where can we buy them from?
Yeah, so that's kind of the tricky one. It's always one of those critical mass type products. So you can get a Bluetooth device from Sena for under $100. But the one I'm referring to, that 20S, that's going to be a $299 for the single, $399 for the dual kit. They also have what's called a 10C, and that actually has the Bluetooth communication of the 20S, but also a camera built into it as well, so you can take video from your helmet cam. along the way. But yeah, they get a little bit pricey, and the best place is just SenaBluetooth.com, SENA Bluetooth.com, and you can find out more information on those products.
All right. Well, I'm obviously going to have to wait until Christmas because I want the bestest, most shiniest, most technologically advanced one that they have, because I'm never willing to settle for anything that isn't the best in class. So thank you for solving my problem. I have a list of other problems I'll email you this week and see if you can help me with those, right? Do you have a license as an MD?
I do, and I also happen to have my JD as well, my Juris Doctorate, so I can be your lawyer, I can be your general practitioner, anything you need, Mr. Nick.
Therapist.
Therapist too. I need some help. I love you very much, Mike Cadell. We'll talk soon. That's Mike Cadell, public relations company, Driven Public Relations, and Fox and Friends, and his segments on Fox and Friends, by the way. When Fox and Friends, he did a segment recently on Fox and Friends about a particular product that we were featuring. It was out adventure cars and stuff. It was like they shut the website down, and so many people went to the website to look at the product he was talking about. So this is a guy that always has the best and exciting products. I think it was a Line-X product for your truck bed, and Line-X website basically erupted. They couldn't do it. Mike, I love you. We'll talk to you soon. Another guy I love very much is in studio, Peter from Mobile West. Oh my goodness, Peter. Motorcycles,
it's the season.
It's the season to get out there and be a good, well, today is not so much the season.
No, not so much today, but we've been absolutely busy lately.
Wednesday, something, I have friends who ride motorcycles every day of the week. There's Pat, who's the chief engineer over at the CW station, and Aram, and guys like Bob Lanphier Jr. This sort of weather, to them, nothing. My friend Pat at the CW, who's the chief engineer there, will ride shirtless in this weather. He doesn't. He rides with sleeveless. Shirtless was a joke. He rides sleeveless in this weather because he's so hardcore. So the hardcore motorcyclists ride in any weather like this. Personally, me, it gets below 65 and I'm like, brrr, I need to put on.
You have the seat warmers on in your car.
in my motorcycle.
On your motorcycle?
Yeah. Can you do stuff for motorcycles?
Of course.
At Mobile West?
Actually, I have 4 customers this week that were modifying their factory seats or their aftermarket seats. One person, they can't put their feet down. So we're changing the structure inside the foam, changing the upholstery so that they can get both feet down.
On the ground.
On the ground when they're, so that they can ride comfortably in traffic. I have another gentleman that just came back from, his first ride on his bike. He put 400 miles on it, and he said it almost paralyzed him. So we're on the second iteration of changing the foam and the structure of the seat so that he can take a 4,000-mile ride this summer.
Right. So you can actually take a seat. So I'm not looking for it now because that's obviously one of my problems. I have little inseams. Mm-hmm. And putting my foot flat on the ground was what I wanted to do. My new Harley-Davidson Street 750, I can't put my foot flat on the ground, but we've ordered a new seat so I can do that from Harley. But if I didn't want to do that, I could take it to you.
You could just bring me we'll just see your bike. We'll modify the seat you're already on.
Right. And then you could probably do lots of pretty things to it, like put cross-stitch diamond stitching in it and those type of things.
Well, right. You have a motorcycle. Part of it is making it fit you so that it's comfortable. The other part of it is personalization, making it yours, putting your flavor on your bike.
See, I love that. Personalization to me is I'd rather buy the base model and stick a bunch of stuff in there I really like. This is why I've had so much fun with you the last 2 years doing project vehicles with you. And I'm sure we'll do a lot of stuff in the future. It's like I want to do stuff that's fun to a vehicle. Like, I like checking boxes on factory when I order a new car. Don't get me wrong, which is not often enough. But I like to do that. But I can take it into your place and I can go, you know what? I would really like it if my headrests were red. And you're like, all right, done.
Piece of cake. You go. Absolutely. Do we also want to put red front seams in the seats and steering wheel as well?
Right. I really like it when I said, I'd like speakers in my headrest. And you go, all right, done. We'll fix it for you.
Well, that's the point. I was hired at Mobile West 25 years ago, right? I've been doing this. This is how I spend lots of education. But I've always been a car guy. I've always been a music guy. I've always been a technology guy. Think about what you would like it to be, and then I'll do that.
All right.
And it's really, that is one kernel of knowledge. Just say, what would I like it to be?
And then you
Peter
can
will
make it happen for people on their motorcycles. I want to hear about some of the gadgets that go on motorcycles that you have, but we're going to take a commercial break and listen to some of our great sponsors for the show. And then when we come back, will you tell us about some of the things you can put on your bike to make them all gadgeted out?
Gadgets and also safety and comfort.
Safety, comfort, and gadgets. What more could you possibly want on a Sunday morning? You're listening to Test Miles. This is FM News 101 KXL. I'm Nick Miles.
Test Miles, like NASCAR, but with one right turn. TestMiles.com.
From the Test Miles studios in America's Car Radio Show, we'd like to thank you for being part of the Automotive Nation. For more fun facts about cars, go to our Facebook and Twitter accounts and to the Test Miles website. Just to let you know, we are live on multiple different sources right now. The most interesting one is the my Facebook account, Nick Miles. And I have to just mention a few things. Vincent, thank you very much for all your wonderful comments. I know you're watching at the other side of the state. Chris, your wheels look like they frighten me. You need to call Pat from Wheelcraft absolutely immediately. You're scaring the...
He actually left after he saw your wheels. So.
Yeah, he's like, they're frightening wheels. Sparky, always good to have you watching. Brian, you're one of my best journalist buddies, and thank you for telling me I look good today, because I need a haircut desperately. Trisha and Lisa Barreau from FCA. She helped us get our camera angles right this morning, all the way from, I think she lives in Philadelphia, and she is a woman motorcyclist. By the way, before we get into that, go look at our posts, because we have discovered this woman motorcycling event in Italy, and it's one of the interns from Ducati put it on. They're having to close down the event because they have so many women with motorcycles going to this event in Italy now. And we have this massive Italian following all of a sudden. People all over Italy are resharing the show and resharing us talking about it. Jen, what's the name of the event? Do you remember?
Yes, it's Miss Biker.
Miss Biker. Yeah, go to our website, go to Facebook and look at it, and you'll find out. All right, what's our fun fact?
Okay, sorry about that. Our fun fact is Toledo, Ohio has been the headquarters of Jeep brands since inception. The Jeep Wrangler and the Jeep Cherokees are now built in separate facilities not far from the original site of Willys Overland plant.
All right, in the line, you've got 1 minute, Orion, to tell us about your fabulous detailing product.
So we've been using Citrus HD, which is made by Detail Solutions Northwest, and I pretty much use it on everything I do, from cleaning the engine bay to just making the inside look nice again.
I did do something that is unacceptable yesterday. I put Samwise Gamgee's, my nearly a year-old chocolate lab, inside my Ram Rebel, and I desperately need some of that cleaner because he had muddy paws, and you're not allowed to put dogs in. But I did it because I'm crazy. Peter, tell us about motorcycle gadgets and comfort.
Oh, everything you need. Well, those of us that ride, important things. You need to be able to be seen, you need to be able to heard, and you need to be able to be comfortable, because
the devices that you have,
all of the above. HID and LED lighting is very important for high-performance headlights, driving lights, tail lights that work better and that people can see at a much farther distance. Keep you safe and keep the rubber down on both wheels.
All right, good lighting. Is there entertainment options?
Absolutely. We have all sorts of audio solutions, Bluetooth systems, handlebar. For those of you without fairings, we've got really nice speakers that mount on the handlebar and and have big controllers that you can use with gloves.
Just thinking about those annoying guys that I pull up to next in traffic with their cars going, oof, 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 and now it could be a motorcycle.
No, well, you have to have some room to have a subwoofer. So those are usually the guys with the Harley guys with baggers. But
right.
Your sport bikes, you can have great sounding tunes on them as well.
Right.
And then, comfort. Let's make the thing comfortable. Make it so that you can go ride, and so you don't have to stop every 2 hours to gas up and then shake your legs out for 45 minutes before you get back on.
So basically the seat stuff, and you can do almost anything with the seats,
and
right?
Also, vinyl wrap, personalization, modifications.
I'm making my bike into the Captain America bike, right?
Perfectly normal.
If you have ideas, let me know. You can find Mobile West online where?
MWPDX.us or
We want to have you back time after time after time. We love working with you. You're a huge supporter from day one of this show. You've been here. We want to thank you for that. And every listener, every viewer online, every single person that's been to testmiles.com, thank you this week. We're going to keep going forward and bringing you new information and a fun fact, multiple fun facts every day online. This is Test Miles, 24/7 at testmiles.com. We'll see you next week. I'm Nick Miles.
Throw it in neutral and coast in with testmiles.com.